So with the merger now being complete, there's a ton of insane stuff that happened to Lucid Motors Stock recently, completely changing the game for the company as said last time. But as we are still down about 21% since the recent highs of almost $29, what we are going to do today is give you an updated insight into what is happening to the ticker symbol LCID as well as what the merger means for Lucid's future and break down exactly whether it is still a buy at the end. And as the analysis in the video is absolutely crucial to consider before buying the stock, make sure to stay tuned. But before we jump right in, just hit that subscribe button down below. And as we'll keep you updated on breaking news and awesome trading opportunities every single day, subscribing would not only help us but also you. So there is really no excuse for not smashing the subscribe button. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe if you feel so. Alright, let's jump right into the still definitely biggest story, and as we discussed more in depth in the last video, Lucid shareholders now finally approved the long-awaited merger between Churchill Capital and Lucid on Friday, also ending all the drama around Churchill Capital and Lucid's merger process, allowing traders to ultimately leave the SPAC issues behind and start concentrating on the business, which we'll talk about now. So as you probably already know, Lucid Motors is an especially amongst investors extremely popular EV company. But there actually are a few pretty important things we have to quickly go over, including some massive challenges for the company. And first things first, there's one reason in particular that, next to the tremendous hype from retail traders which we'll talk about in a second, caused the initial 675% spikes at the beginning of the year, the hope that a company like Lucid can actually compete in the super competitive EV space. But with the merger now being complete and Lucid finally trading on its own, it should get the same sort of attention that rivals like Tesla and NIO do, making the company now ready to scale up and become one of the leaders in the EV market. But some doubts are justified at first, considering the spectacular results attained by companies like Tesla, as well as all of the legacy auto manufacturers switching to and investing significantly in electric vehicles. However, Lucid Motors does something that practically none of the other new electric vehicle businesses are attempting. It focuses on a market that is very distinct from the majority of the big players in the space, the luxury market. So with cars like the Lucid Air Dream Edition, that starts at $169,000, the firm can target an entirely different group of clients than, say, Tesla while also competing in a niche where almost no other company is now present. However, the fact that the EV leaders are still well ahead of Lucid Motors is crucial to consider for our final prediction. For the time being, no car has been formally delivered to a client, forcing investors to rely exclusively on the company's management's guarantees. However, this will soon change, as the first models are literally being prepared to be sent to the enormous numbers of people who have already preserved and purchased a car. Another critical factor to consider is the huge hype among investors, particularly retail traders. And, as we saw it a lot in January, the potential here is incredible. So here's what's coming up next. Lucid expects significant growth in production over the following 5 years, with the introduction of an SUV in 2023 and sales of roughly 48,000 units. And it's easy to see why investors are so optimistic about Lucid's prospects, given the company's own projections for the next 5 years. Nonetheless, as we said before, there is a lot of competition as well as legacy automakers that are shifting gears and committing to more EV-heavy product ranges. So to summarize, Lucid Motors clearly has a lot of massive potential. And, while we first advised waiting for the first actual automobiles to arrive and the subsequent bad or positive news before buying or adding more stocks, new gains are now quite possible thanks to the great technical setup. And now that the merger is finalized, there will undoubtedly be a fresh wave of investors interested in the stock, with more people opting for the long-term strategy. However, if retail traders continue to pump up the stock, even some short-term increase is very likely. Alright, with that being it for today's video, thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video and want to support our mission of providing free financial information to everyone here on YouTube, please ensure you're subscribed and definitely consider leaving a like. As mentioned before, it really means the world to us. Thanks a lot and see you next time.